voices. It's hard to carry on when you feel all alone. Now I've swung back down again. It's worse than it was before. If I hadn't seen such riches, I could live with being poor. Oh, sit down, oh, sit down, oh, sit down. Sit down next to me. Sit down, 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 down. Sympathy.
Evening, everyone. Evening. Just want to have a little chat tonight about some of the squad that Arteta basically has bought in that game the other night. In that intro, were some real Arsenal players, proper Arsenal players. They put their heart on the line for the football club. They played for the badge. Heart and soul, would give anything to put it over the line. The other night, was there one player, guys, in the chat? Just tell me one player that put his heart on the line for that game, because I actually can't see one. And this, I'm sorry, is the state of what Arsenal Football Club has come. It's a disgrace. A club of this size has gone so low. And there is such an acceptance that it's okay. It's okay to do this. It's okay that certain people out there are saying that, well, it's the League Cup, the Carrier Bag Cup. And the funny thing is, I watched this. There's a few YouTubers now copying what I've said about the Carrier Bag Cup. Not going to name them, but I find it quite ironical that these people can't come up with their own thoughts on that cup. I said that about the Carrier Bag Cup probably 3-4 years ago as a joke. It was a joke I came up with when I was up in Highbury one night, and I said, oh, the Carrier Bag Cup. Bit like the Rumbelows, the Littlewoods, the Milk Cup, all these weird names that this cup's had over the years. But it is what it is. And, sometimes people just don't have their own brain to come up with something different. AJ Bright says, Jez, huge congrats on 4.29k subs. Thank you, man. Yeah, I think it's four subs or something to get to 4.3. But before we get into it, smash the likes up, smash the subs if you're new. I don't think we'll have any news tonight, but there we go. Before we start this, a lot of people have been asking me to do a very special stream that I'm going to be doing on Tuesday night. I'm going to mention it at the start tonight, and I'm going to mention it at the end. It's all about the Arsenal firms. Now, I put a poll out earlier, and people say, yeah, do it. Some said, yeah, not sure. Some people not interested. That's fine. That's good. But I've actually gone out of myself and actually asked and contacted a few of the people that I know who were in those firms. And I said, look, if I do this, have you got a problem with it? And they're, nah, don't care. It's back in the past. Don't really not care. No, don't care about it. So I'm going to do it. I had my doubts after the other night, and people were saying, yeah, Jez, you've got to talk about it. It's all the history, la, la, la. Okay, fine. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it out there. And it's going to be quite an interesting stream. Anyway, let's just get into this. Andrew Macari says, I don't think the club will sack him unless we don't get top four. Back to Wenger settings. Yeah, mate, sadly, I have to tend to agree with you. Wayne House is crazy me, but I think our players are good enough. not all of us are cheats like City. Well, that's an interesting comment, my friend. That's interesting. That's your view, and I respect what you're telling me. But then when we start to dissect, Andrew, the players that Arteta has bought, I think he might see a different perspective. So anyway, let's talk about that game. Let's talk about that squad. Arteta's squad. The players he has bought. The players he has condoned, accepted, given them their chances, and yet he still goes with it. Firmino, Zinchenko, Havertz, Nketiah. I mean, Nketiah wasn't his buy. He came through the academy, but Vieira, Cedric, Willian, Tavares, Lokonga, Raya have all been shambolic signings made by Arteta. Terrible management. I'm not sure I agree about Raya, and I'll come to my point. Wayne says the problem is they are under too much pressure from our past success. Don't get that. Andrew says not one of these players backed the team back then. Who are you talking about? What? The intro players? The players that won numerous cups, won FA Cups, and were crap in Europe. I'll give you that one. But they went invincible. And so I'd say actually they did put their heart on the line. And so let's look at this. Aaron Ramsdale came in. I didn't want him, but he impressed me. He impressed me to the point that I thought, yeah, this guy's decent. Right now, I don't know what the bloody hell has happened to him. I really don't. That show the other night was absolutely a debacle. And Guna, what happens if Spurs win the league by some miracle? Well, that'd be an absolute sum up Arsenal Football Club right now. That is, but yeah, I mean, come on. Ramsdale at the moment, I mean, I've seen, I don't often, right? This is a fact. I don't often watch AFTV. Last night, I thought I'd watch some of their fan cams and whatever and things like that. And I also watched a thing with Turkish, James, and two other guys this morning. And they were critical. And they looked downbeat, downhearted. Quite rightly, they should be. Continually pumping out fake positivity is what is the problem with this football club fan base right now. If they were to actually stand up and call out the club and say, actually, you are crap, Arteta, and those players are crap. So get back to my point. Aaron Ramsdale has dropped off a cliff. Seriously poor. What has happened? Is it because he's been challenged? I don't know. But I saw him being, people were saying, well, he got fouled on that first goal. Did he? Poor refereeing. Really? I mean, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. I didn't see that. I mean, I watched that game twice now on replay. I'm not seeing that. It was a fair challenge on the keeper. He bottled it. Lack of communication between him, right, and Ben White caused that goal. Where was the shout from the keeper? Where was he? What was he saying to Ben White? Keepers. You can't say leave it. You can't say it's mine, because you'll get a free kick against you for that, indirect free kick. But if you say keepers, or you say Ramsdale, or you say to Ben White, out the way. It was his all day long. All day long. Poor. Very, very poor. Oregon Goon says, gifted 5 Arsenal history and more memberships. Mate, you're a legend. Absolute legend, man. And I'm looking to you straight after this stream, guys. Go across the American Idiots. Dow and TJ are doing a show. Go across and give them some love. Carl Rossi gifted 1 Arsenal and history and more membership. You guys are absolutely relentless, but thanks for doing that, guys. Very kind of you to do that. So, Aaron Ramsdale, he was absolute dog crap. I rated him when we bought him, fair play. But at the moment, he has seriously dropped the levels. Seriously dropped the levels, man. So let's get into another player. Dear God. Zinchenko, right? Bought him from Man City. Got him, right? Last season, I thought he was decent. Right now, he is absolute dog crap. Seriously. Now, why? Why? I personally think he's fighting for his position. I think Tomiyasu is chasing behind him, because you have to say the one thing you'll get out of Tomiyasu, he's not world class. He is solid. He'll give you what's written on the tin. He's not great. He's not brilliant. Yeah, he scored a goal the other day in the game. Yeah. But it was a poacher goal, and that's what players on the level do. But Zinchenko, man, what's happened to you? Is it because you're playing this inverted bullshit? And Pete here says, love listening to you, Jez, Aston Villa fan. You should have kept Unai Emery. He's another level to Arteta. Absolutely. I never wanted him out. I didn't want him out. Yeah? I didn't want him out. But the board decided he wasn't the man for the job. And look where we are now. Unai Emery got us to a Europa League final, where the team just didn't turn up. They downed tools, and we were embarrassed by Chelsea Football Club. Seriously, honestly. Wayne says, I just found out Robbie Lyle isn't even an Arsenal fan. No, he was a Luton fan, man. But Zinchenko, I mean, he came into this club and he looked decent in midfield. Playing at left back, he's just absolute rubbish. The other night, right? Ball passed. He just watched a West Ham player walk right past him. Most of that game, right, Zinchenko was walking or trotting. I didn't see a lot of him running and tracking. And if you're a top level Premier League player, like he's supposed to be, then you actually fight for your game. You actually fight for your position. There's been way too many good defenders at this club that have had to compete against another player to ensure that they're playing the next game. The problem is, some of these players, in my opinion, have got it way too easy at this club, and it's been going on for way too bloody long. And that's why it's, it's all the get along gang. Don't worry about it. Yeah. It's only the League Cup. Okay. And that is something that is transmitted to the fan base, so the fan base will accept mediocrity. It's been going on way too long at this football club. You don't see that at Manchester City. A few years ago, you didn't see that at Liverpool. Donkeys years ago, you didn't see it at Man United and you didn't see it at Arsenal. At any game, at any level, they stood up and fought for the club. They wanted the pride of playing for that badge. And shocking, man. Shocking. Gabriel the other night, awful. One of the worst games I've ever seen him play. Joe, good to see you, Joe. You know, I mean, absolutely jokes. I like Gabriel Magalhaes. I do. I think he's a class player. I really do. But I just don't know what happened the other night, Wednesday night. As soon as I saw that midfield, right? As soon as I saw that midfield, I thought, that's it, game over. Lackluster, nothing in strength in that midfield at all. West Ham were going to walk straight through us. And they did. They proved it, man. They proved it. And I can't believe that we again, just throw away another League Cup. I mean, when you look at the teams that are in that, Man City are out, right? Probably one of the favourites, okay? Man United get knocked out by Newcastle, right? Man United are out. Liverpool, probably along with Arsenal, top contender. Port Vale, Ipswich. No disrespect to these clubs, but we should be absolutely. If we actually, I know we wouldn't have got. We'd have drawn Liverpool, but if we'd have drawn them, we should be absolutely bloody piping them. They're levels below Arsenal Football Club, Division 1 teams. I believe I might be wrong in saying that, but they're not the levels that we should be worrying about. Seriously. But no, don't matter. It's the League Cup. Don't worry about it. And yet, certain big YouTube channels are dismissing this as it's more important to win the Premier League. I agree with you. But with this team, we're not going to win the Premier League. This squad hasn't got the balls, and we haven't got the manager that's going to do it. I hope I get proved wrong next May. And if I get proved wrong, I'll be the first person to stand up and said, I'm wrong. But I know I'll be sitting here going, knew it. And yet, you know, we look at what's going down. Oh, well, Champions League. Great, we're in the Champions League with this squad. Proved it the other night. We don't have a second team. So let's move on. Jorginho, Fabio Vieira, Havertz. Somebody please tell me what kind of midfield was that? What was it? Yeah, I mean, sorry, there's teams in the second division that have got a better midfield than that, playing against West Ham at the London Stadium. I mean, it's beyond belief. Seriously. And yet certain people are promoting that it was a half decent midfield. I don't know what games some of these people watch. I mean, they're watching them through rose-tinted glasses. As Wayne says, yeah, could be up to you, mate. I don't watch AFTV. No, fair play to you, fella. I'm not having a go at you. I'm just, trying to highlight what goes on certain other channels. I'm not having a pop at you at all, fella. And as Asa says, AFT are full of clueless arseholes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Interestingly, right? The flip-flops that are in that channel. I watched yesterday, Lee Judges. Sorry, early hours of the morning. This show with Turkish, James, Lee Judges, right? Calling it all out. But when it comes to the real time to call it all out, no. You know, let's just go along with the get along gang, you know, because it's all the Arsenal narrative. You know, we can't be seen to be negative. We can't be seen to be actually going against the club. Well, case in point, before we get into this, the other night, right? Fans walking out, 3-0 down, right? Walking out. Paid a lot of money to go to that game, 10 quid ticket, I believe Kenny told me, which is decent, all right? But you've got to get travel costs to get there and have something to eat, something to drink, and all the other goes with it. Yeah? Yet you're walking out before the end of the game. So you missed the goal that Odegaard actually scored, the consolation goal. Why? You're there to support your club. You're there to the death. Oh, well, you know, people, well, I've got to get the train, got to get the bus. It wasn't a late kickoff, right? The tubes run till 1 a.m. in London, right? So you've got no problem of getting your destination. There's no tube strikes. There's nothing like that going down. So you can get home. Why? And yet I see on the TV fans there having a giggle. It's funny. 3-0 down against West Ham in a cup game. Oh, that's all right. That is the problem. But anyway, Jorginho. Whose decision was it to buy him? 10 million quid. 10 million pound. Whose decision was that? Was it Arteta? Or was it Edu doing his usual deals of buying the pensioners from Chelsea? What did he bring to the game? What did he do the other night? I saw nothing. Slow. No intensity. Exposing our right wing in midfield. Jogging around. Having a laugh. With West Ham players. Fabio Vieira. He had no chance. He had absolutely no chance on that right wing. Jorginho kept cutting in from the midfield, centre midfield, out to the right wing. No chance. This guy, Fabio Vieira, is not levels. I don't disrespect him because he does do some good work. At least he does try. He does try. Liar Havertz. I call him a liar because he obviously lied that he can play football. He is the worst. I'm gonna make the statement. He's probably the worst Arsenal midfielder I've ever seen in my life. And that is saying something. And I've seen some crap. But he is absolutely rubbish. And why? Somebody in your chat, please, somebody here. Somebody please tell me. Why did we spend 65 bloody £1 million on this fella when we could have got Maddison for 35 million? I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. Don't understand it. But have a think about that. Have a think about that in the chat. And somebody please justify it to me if anybody can. I can't. Acer says, Jez, I beg you, please challenge AFTV on their Arsenal history. They will all fail so comfortably. Would make a fantastic view. Mate, mate, look, they wouldn't even entertain me. That's for sure. They wouldn't entertain me. I'd be honest with you, mate. I don't want to get involved with them. They are the cancer in this fan base. And I've got no time for that fat bastard, Lyle. At the end of the day, he's a lying prick because he's not an Arsenal fan. He's a Luton fan. So, you know, I ain't got time for any of them. Some of them on there, I used to have a lot of time for. Not anymore. They sold themselves out. And one thing I will never do, Aces, I will never sell my soul because I'm Arsenal through and through. And I say what I say. I mean, last night, right, I did a show with Yeti and the Volcano, Carl Walsh. There was nothing on there but pure facts. There's no bullshit. It was pure and utter facts. Some people didn't like it because I took out an Arsenal supposed fan. Well, that's me. I don't care if people don't like me, if they don't agree with me, I will say that as I see it. That is how it is. That is how it is. Wayne says, make a vid calling AFTV out. Yeah, you got to be careful doing that, man. You can get copyrighted. So, yeah, I'd love to, man. I swear to God, if I had the opportunity of getting on some of them on my channel, one in particular, name begins with a J, U-I, right? J-U-L-I. I'd take that bloke to cleaners. He's an out and out absolute liar about his Arsenal history, where he's been, what games he's watched. And yeah, it is what it is, man. But anybody got an answer for me about Havertz? Seriously? Andrew says, I never saw Robbie at Highbury. No, he was never there, man. And nor was Julian. Called it. Yeah, he went to the 89 game. Of course you did. Along with the other 50,000 Arsenal fans that make out you did, which you weren't even Arsenal fans at the time. So, yeah, you know, we'll forget about that, shall we? Carl says, he reminds you of that because he's one of them. People can't stand him. Shred his contract ASAP. Yeah. I mean, Mr. Joshi, I don't want to ruin your name. Good evening, Jez. Absolutely enjoyed listening to you as a Man United fan. Thank you, mate. Thank you for that. You know, the fact is, anybody got an answer for me about Havertz? Because I don't get it. Yeah, I mean, there needs to be a way of docking their wages if they drop below an agreed standard. Yeah, well, I'd love to see it, mate, but it ain't going to happen. It's, you know, it's the easy way, in it, of making a big load of money for doing absolutely jack shit. Because if you were underperforming in your job, right, you'd be called in the office and you'd have a serious word said. But not nowadays. It's as Neil says, it's amazing how the club shows zero tolerance to Emery, yet kept a failure in Arteta. Exactly. We're back in a state where we were. Wenger was in charge. Mediocrity is like quicksand, and we will sink. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Before we go on, anybody else who's joining, smash the likes up. It does help the channel, man. And if you're new, please hit the subs. Not far off 4.3, I believe. I think it's about 4. I think something like that. But anyway, let's move on. I'm looking for a comment that anybody can come and give me an excuse about Arteta, Havertz. Shocking, bloody shocking, man. Absolute rubbish. When Saliba out, our defence is weaker. Absolutely. And that is an Unai Emery purchase. Do I need to say more? Do I need to say more about that? Because Kai Bergkamp, man, mate, he couldn't even put his socks on. I mean, Bergkamp's dirty socks. He's just absolute dog crap. And Livy Smart, good to see you. We haven't seen Gabriel with another competent centre back, but he's only had one good season. Yeah, I'd say 1.5 seasons. He was a bit poor. Season before last at the start, he had the bozo gene, didn't he? He was a bit unpredictable, got too deep in midfield, and was caught out way many times. Couple of red cards. I think he's learned from that. I do think he's learned from that. But the fact remains, I don't know. Let's move on. Right. Eddie Nketiah, the player I gave the biggest credit to the other day, right? I gave him a 10 out of 10 because of his hat trick. Excuse me. I thought he was outstanding. But it was against Sheffield United. No disrespect to Sheffield, but they are a very, very poor team. Very poor team. So it is what it is, man. But I mean, come on. What did he do? And I know he's not an Arteta signing, but he's part of the squad and he gets played week in, week out and achieves nothing apart from one game. And that will give him license to start at the weekend. And we're going to get into that in a little bit. So, Reece Nelson, a player that I really, really wanted to kick on. Give him a chance, give him a start. Gave it his best. Tried. No support from the midfield. And can I blame him for that? No. Because at the end of the day, the midfield were absolute dog crap. Seriously. I don't get it, man. And yet, I see that Arteta says, I'll take all the blame. Well, quite rightly, man, you should take all the blame because you got it effing wrong. I don't fall for his bullshit. You did that, Arteta, because you didn't take this cup seriously again. And all you just did was say, well, I'm putting this team out and we'll see how it goes. And if we get a result, it's good. and it didn't work again. But I've got no faith in you, Arteta. I never have had. Barry says, to be fair, James is decent AFTV, only lad that has sense. Yeah, I'll give you that. I will give you that. You know, I actually watched that show this morning, and that guy looked so pissed off. So pissed off. But, you know, if you're going to be sold to the club and you're getting paid for it by the club, and I don't care what anybody says, AFTV are so Arsenal's arse, they're getting a kick out of it. No question. No question. Darren says, these players have let us down again with the manager. Yeah, Darren, I think it's also the fact you have to put it straight on the manager. He was not interested in this again. And he just like, well, yeah, you know, we've got bigger fish to fry because we've got Newcastle away and then we've got Sevilla at home next week. Well, if you're a decent club fella, Arteta, right, and you'd bought the right bloody players at the right time, you might have a squad that can actually compete on 3 fronts. I'm not the advocate that's going to sit here and say we can compete on all 4 fronts. Yeah, that is a terribly hard thing to do. But are we going to compete on the next 3 fronts? I don't think so. I don't think so. We've got numerous players out injured. I'm going to throw this in the mix because I'm getting wound up now. Right. And you know what happens when I get wound up. What is going on with Thomas Partey? Where's he gone? I hear this injury story. Yet nothing official has been announced. I'm sorry, I just think this is another bullshit comment from Arteta. Another player, because Partey isn't getting game time, he's fed up. And he's probably said to Arteta, look, mate, if you don't play me, I want to go. And Arteta, being the arrogant arse that he is, has probably said, well, if you don't like it, sit, don't come in the squad, don't do anything, sit at home. He's done it with so many players. So many players. Guendouzi didn't do that much wrong at Brighton. He got binned because he fell out with Arteta. Because Arteta is arrogant. I said it from day one. He was an arrogant player at Arsenal. You could see how he was with the rest of the team. He wasn't popular at Arsenal with the team. So what makes it any difference now? Top players, Aubameyang, maybe I'll put Lacazette in there, maybe, fell out of him and they were gone because they didn't like what he was doing. But Arteta gets away with it with this lot of players because they've got pensioners from Chelsea and the rest of them he knew from Zinchenko from Man City, right? He brought Trossard in, and I'm going to come to Trossard in a bit, okay? A player that I really wanted. Really wanted, because I think he's class. I don't think, personally, he's a great starter. He's an impact substitute. I think he gets more out of him as a substitute and as a starter, personally. Fab, who said Ruby is a Luton fan? He was a Luton fan, fella. He was a Luton fan. Goodyear, he's a millionaire funding AFTV. I think it's more like Arsenal are funding AFTV and all their millions of subs. But it is what it is. Invite them, Jez, but I bet none of them would have the nerve. No, mate, I don't want to get involved with them. I really don't want to get involved with them. I've got no time for them. They go totally against the grain for me. Totally against the grain. I don't believe in the word they say, because they just do it for the likes, and they do it for popularity. And good luck to them, man. Good luck to them. You know, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you go on YouTube and you do what you do, and you put whatever you want to say out there. I'm never going to be a massive YouTube channel, because at the end of the day, I just say it as it is. And loads of people don't like me, and I don't care. I really don't give a shit, because I say it as I see it. I've been around this club for a very, very, very long time, and it is what it is, man. Jamie Wallace, loves your channel, Jez. You're spot on with everything you said about the club and this loser fan base. It sickens me to see what this club has become. Keep up the great work, top man. Top man, thank you, man. Thanks for that comment. It makes it worthwhile when you get great comments like that. I mean, I had some comments today. Dear God, you know, in the comment section. Why? How dare you? Or why should you? Do you know Arteta personally? Why call him a prick? Because he is. He hasn't got the experience. He hasn't got the knowledge. It proved it, man, the other night. Joe says, Jez, can you get Yardman on? He is one fella, man, I would have my channel, because he's straight down the road, exactly like me. But let's get into this one. Let's get into this. Trossard. Bought him. Good player. Good player. Doesn't always start, but I haven't got a problem with that, personally, because I have to be fair, the games he has started, he hasn't been that great. When he comes on as an impact sub, he plays a different game, and I don't understand why. I don't get that. But is that the sign of a decent player? Is that the sign of a player that's going to take us forward? I'd like to think so. I actually rate Trossard. I think he's got class. But as Carl says, there's too much fucking problems at this club. I see no soon end in sight. Every effing season, I feel no excitement, hope, or pride in this team and management. It's torturous. The fans don't care either. No, because look, there's a lot of fans that I still know, still go to games, and they don't accept this. Seriously, they don't. But there's a lot of the get-along gang that do, because they've never, ever, Carl, they've never seen Arsenal achieve success, and so they know no different, and they're led like sheep by certain people. TJ mate says, be up, Jez, all the edges of the chat. 5 months as a member of one of the realest Arsenal channels on YouTube. Smash the likes up for the Jezza. TJ, top fella, man, top fella. And as I said, people, straight after this stream, in 15 minutes, go over to TJ Warren and Dow. They're doing the American Idiot Show. It's always class. And go and give them some love. Give them some, smash their likes up, smash up your subs over there. Top fellas they are, top fellas. But anyway, we move on. Time's running out. I'm only going to do an hour because I don't want to overlap with TJ's show. We're away at Newcastle. 5:30 tomorrow. Oh my days. Oh my days. A team that is right in form. Bashed the crap out of Man United the other night. Right. This is a must win game. Because if we don't step up for that, then we are in deep doggy doo-doo. I've seen people today saying to me, you know, that if we'd won the other night, it would have been a major kick on for this game. I agree with that because the confidence would have been high. Going to St James's Park is a tough game. Now it's even worse. It's even worse with the way they are playing. I predicted this at the start of last season. They are going to be a team to contend with. And they are proving it. Proving it. Light and Store Entertainment, man. Great stuff. Jez, legend, real fan. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for that. Good ER, Jez, your channel will explode by the end of the season, I guarantee. Yeah, it might explode with my head going, you know, but there you go. Yeah, so we're away. We're away at St James's Park. One of the greatest stadiums you'll ever go to see football. Seriously, their fan base. I mean, you think the admiration I've got for that fan base is incredible. They haven't won sod all since, what, 52? I think they may have won the Intercities Fair Cup. I may be wrong. Somebody in the chat will put me right on that. But Matty, hey, brother, I feel like we are set back 2 to 3 years with this gaffer. Yep. Go and support Matty. The Southern Gooner does watch-alongs on Lee Gunner's channel with Ola. Top fella. Great guy. And we've been doing did a couple of good shows recently, actually. And we do player ratings together. Which the other night we actually crucified the team. Fair play. But anyway, guys, tell me in the chat before we wind this up, before we go over to TJ's show, give me your predictions. I'll kick it off. I'm going to go with a 1-1. I'm going 1-1. Big up, Jays. You're well. I'm going for a 2-2 against Newcastle. Can't see us winning. No, I've just gone 1-1, Anthony, mate. Fair play to you. And go over to support Anthony's channel, guys. Another good YouTuber. Football United. Good stream, man. Good stream. Anthony McCarthy, definitely going to be a tricky game if we don't show up. No, well, that's my worry. That's my worry, man. I'm not sure how it's going to go. I really don't know. I don't know. Fav says Newcastle 3 Arsenal or something. Yeah, well, I mean, this could be realistic. Guna ER 3-0 to the Newcastle. The Magpies taking us apart, picking our eyes out. Yeah, I wouldn't be all surprised. Newcastle absolutely destroyed us down to one man. Eric Ten Hag playing players out of positions. Yeah. And I can see exactly the same thing. I'll tell you what now, if Havertz starts, right, if Havertz starts in that game, we are in absolute dog crap. Darren's going 3-1 for the Newcastle. Yeah, it's quite a popular one at the moment, I think. Tony Neri, big up, Jez and chat. Big up to you, my friend. Good to see you. And we've got Newcastle 3 from AJ Bayer. Definitely could be more. Yeah, well, good God help us. Sonic Quantum 68 trophy draft. 68 years. Look, every week, every sodding week, even when they got relegated, bound to the championships a few years ago, that ground is packed to the gunnels every sodding week. Every week. That's the love of that fan base for their club. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't ever think I know a fan base better than them. And that's no disrespect to Arsenal, who I love to death, but they are incredible. Stephen Squire says, Newcastle is a fantastic place. Yeah, it's a great city, man. It's a great city to go to. Carl says 3-1 to the Toon. Away the lads. Paul says 2-0 Newcastle. Sorry, Jez. No, mate, don't be sorry. Be honest. Be honest. Danny's saying Newcastle 1, Arsenal 1. That's what I'm going. I'm going that. Hopefully. Andrew McCorry says 2-2. Gooner ER 3-0 to the Newcastle. And Tony Nevis says 2-2. It's not looking good, guys, is it? It's not looking good. Cameron Erling said we won 2-0 last time at St James's Park, no pressure. Now the pressure's on. Newcastle 3, Arsenal 1. Wow, yeah, every very popular score. This 3-1 game. Heat of their 2-0 Newcastle win. Oh, Jesus. Danny Lyons 82-1-1. Barry says 3-1 Newcastle, unfortunately. Oh, Jesus. Joe's going 4-0. Joe. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Joe. Good to see you, though. Fav says Newcastle 3, Arsenal 1. Yeah, it's not looking great with your predictions. Neil says, I think Newcastle will kick us when we're down 4-1 Newcastle. Dear God. I'm getting depressed now, guys. Wayne says 3-1 to the... I'm sure you mean, what, 31-0 or 3... No, I know you mean 3-1. It's either 3-1 or Arsenal or 3-1 to Army. Yeah, well, big switch. Interesting. Darren says, how to punch Arteta on the touchline. Yeah, mate. I'll tell you what. Red Bull Vodka, Arsenal 2-1. Okay. Off to place bets on Breeder Cup, US horse racing. Hope you do well, my friend. Hope you do well. AJ says 56 likes in the house. Well, thank you guys for that. One day I might get 100. Might get to 100. Don't know. Anyway, guys, I'm going to quickly jump through the chat a little bit. And then I'm going to get out of here because... Anyway, just going to say, before I bounce out, go across, as I said, go and dross and join TJ's show in just a little bit. Next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, I am doing, I think you could call it a history show. I'm not sure if that's the right term. But it's going to be all about, I've been asked by a lot of people to do this. And UK Arsenal, hi Jez, hi to you, mate. Good to see you. It's all going to be about the Arsenal firms back in the time. And I have actually spoken to some of the guys that I know, I was very good friends with back in the day. And I've spoken to them and I've said, look, I don't want to get myself in the shit if I upset anyone. They said, no, fuck it. It's years ago. And I won't be mentioning, I'll probably only mention 3 names because they've said I can. But it's just going to be the history of it, how it all came about, how all this nonsensical stuff started, and put it out there, public disclaimer, I was never involved with them. I knew them. I used to go to games and you'd meet up. I was never part of them, right? And I'm just putting that out there because I've had loads of people over the years on Lee's channel and, oh, you one of the herd and one of the gooners and all that. No, I never was. Never was. Sometimes you're in the wrong place at the wrong time and it came up on you. But it is how it was back in the days. But I'm going to get out of it, people. Thanks for watching. Thanks for smashing the likes up. Smash the subs if you're new. As Pete says, it's going to be 5-0 to the Arsenal. Good for you, Pete. I love your positivity. Love your positivity, my friend. Because can't see it myself, but I hope you're right. If you're right, fair play to you, fella. Fair play to you. But Barry says, great show again. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thanks, Carl. Came to you and your family. God bless everyone in the chat. And thanks you, Jez. And the mods for a great show. Thank you, my friend, for watching. Don't thank me. Just thank you for watching. Type says, Jez, I came late. Don't worry, man. You can watch it on playback. Don't worry about that. It's all good fun. Darren says, hey, would you mug? Yeah, well, yeah, peace. Bless him. He's probably just got to go to bed. Have a top evening, Jez. Cheers, man. I'm going to go right over now and watch TJ's show. So go there, boys and girls, ladies, and give them some support. They do a great stream, man. They do a great stream. But I'm going to do the outro, people, and I'm out of here. Oh, dear. Newcastle away, 5:30 tomorrow. Dear God. Let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens, because not sure myself. But here's what it is. And before I go, excuse me. Where's it gone? There he is. Oh, Tony Claude, Gunner TV, man. I've been going and watching your stream with Matt you did earlier. Go and support Tony Claude Gunner TV, people. But yes, get back to this. Big game tomorrow, people. Big, big game. Because if we don't win that game, that just shows the lack of intensity we have. And if Tottenham win, what's that going to say? I will be that mad. But we'll see, people. Have a great evening. Let's look forward to the game tomorrow. Let's have some positivity. And thanks all. Take care. And I'm out of here.